Hello everyone, Nubkeks here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. In today's video we're going to be playing Alarak and talking about his E-build in particular. He's definitely one of the hardest heroes to play in the entire game. There's no doubt about that. There's a variety of ways that you can use his W, telekinesis, to push people about, push them into certain things, push them out of certain things. Landing your skill shots, landing your Q at the perfect moment, all that stuff. There's definitely a very, very high skill cap ceiling to this guy. And that's one of the things about Alarak is a while ago I certainly would have said, you know, although he remains semi-popular, a while ago, maybe a couple of months ago, I would have said there's really not much point in playing the guy. However, I think it was really with the gameplay updates at the start of the year, end of last year, whatever it was, with the gameplay updates anyway, I think that's when Alarak became a lot more appealing as a hero. With the removal of double support, I think there's a much greater potential for you to get kills, and it also opens up a nice slot for Alarak in the game. So for example right here, Alarak used to be played a lot as a solo laner, and he can still do that very well, but you can see, for example right now, we are happily roaming with our 4-man squad. And you can see clearly again, if this is the double support meta, you know, we have our main support Uther, we have a range damage Cassie, our tank. This would be the spot that would have been grabbed by one of those second supports. So yeah, we're kind of free to play Alarak here now, and he's doing pretty well. And the E-build has really come forward, I think anyway, as being probably his best build. It gives you very reliable poke, it's very nice in those circumstances. You can see I missed my combo there in the Vala. If I'd hit that, we would have got the kill. You're not going to see perfect Alarak gameplay in this particular video, but I'll point out all of the things, or try to point out most of the things that you want to be trying to practice and to learn as we go. So this is kind of nice, trying to lock down this Vala as ETC is coming up. Perhaps should have pulled her down towards the ETC there, maybe Lander hit her with that with the power slide a little bit more easily. It's a pretty decent escape from her though. So yeah, that's the thing with Alarak though. I think there's always, you know, more potential for getting those skill shots even better, right? Again, maybe right there, a more experienced Alarak player would have been able to use that telekinesis into Q combo. Just getting comfortable with doing it, which I am not. One other thing you can do as well for some wave clears, you can use your telekinesis to push. I think I tried it once in the game at some stage. You can try to telekinesis the minion to squash the minion wave down and then hit them with your Q, but you have to be really fast about it because the minions will like re-separate again. But if you do it really fast, you can actually get some pretty good wave clear out of it, which is kind of nice. And that's some of the strength of the Alarak there, you know, that kill pressure that you bring, particularly against squishy heroes, that bursty damage, while also being fairly sustainable yourself. But it's quite surprising amounts of damage, and it can wreak quite a lot of havoc. See, in this case, I just don't particularly care about what the enemy team is doing. In fact, one of the things we could do in this particular game is to try to knock people out of the Alexstrasza healing circle. That's one thing. We could also try to pull them into ETC, knock them off our teammates, pull them into our combo. There's a whole bunch of different things you can do. One thing I'm trying to do right here, and you can see it's very clunky to actually get it to work, is to cast our E on the healing fountain. I think it only works if you actually have direct vision. So that was something I was kind of learning in this game as well. Because with this particular build, what we're trying to do is he failing that combo on the Vala. Luckily Cassia is there to secure the kill. With this build, we're very much focused on hitting heroes with the in-between of our E. We don't want to hit them directly with our E. We want to hit heroes with the sort of the center beam, the lightning that comes between our E, between us and our target initial target of the E spell. So our talents are building into that. Level 1, we're taking extended lightning. This does knock off 10% sadism, but that's okay. And it's a quest again to hit heroes with the center lightning of lightning surge of your E. Once you hit 5, it increases the range by 20%. This makes it much easier to finish the rest of the quest. Once you've hit 15, the center will also slow enemies by 40% for 2 seconds, so it's a nice little bit of CC. If you do hit 3 heroes with a single cast of your lightning surge, it will give you back your sadism. You'll get 10% sadism back, and it'll give you the other rewards as well, which is quite nice. At level 7, at level 4, we've got another quest, which is negatively charged. So this increases the damage bonus that your lightning surge does to enemies with the center of the beam by 100 and up to 150%, which is really nice. By default, they take double damage from the center beam. Now they take 150% bonus damage, and it's a repeatable quest as well. Every time we hit a hero with this, it permanently increases that damage bonus by 5%, so we can stack it up in some pretty nice damage. You can see trying to do that minion, a wave clearing thing right there, not doing it quite right, but you get the idea of what you might be able to do if you get that aim perfectly. Again, it's just one of those extra skills that you might want to perfect if you're going to be playing a lot of Alarak. Level 7, Applied Force. So this, again, reduces our sadism a little bit, which can hurt, that's for sure. But it will also let our telekinesis push 20% further, which is very nice, and have a 20% increased range. So again, that extra range makes it very easy to get your telekinesis off. That's one of the big challenges for me with the Alarak, is just getting used to like the different ranges of telekinesis and everything like that. Again, I really do feel like once you've played a few games on the guy, or once you're playing him pretty consistently, you can really dramatically up the impact that you can have with this hero, because you'll get comfortable being like, okay, yes, that hero isn't that perfect W range, or yes, I can do this fancy thing or that fancy thing. And I think that's actually a quite exciting thing about a hero, if you're interested in that sort of thing. It's a great mosh pit there by ETC. We're going in on the Alexstrasza, just try to lock her down, remove all that healing potential. She may have had her Dragon Queen, which may have saved them. So trying to make sure that she dies early on in that particular fight. In this game, I'm going for Counter-Strike at level 10. Now, I actually personally vastly prefer Deadly Charge. I really do. I think Deadly Charge is much more, for me, I find it a lot more fun. I also find it perhaps a little bit better overall. However, in this particular game, there's just no way we don't take Counter-Strike. They've got a Kel'Thuzad. They've got a Vala who has who can pick up Rain of Vengeance as well. Varian may go for Taunt. I think he goes for Colossus Smash actually. And then they got a Blaze with some CC as well. They just have a lot of CC. They have a lot of potential damage that I have to be pretty scared of. So I think Counter-Strike is basically mandatory considering the heroes in this game. So that's what you want to be looking for. Do I need... There we go, pulling that Alexstrasza back, she gets killed. But do I need the survivability of Counter-Strike? If I do, then I better take it. If I don't, then I'm going to very happily take Deadly Charge. That's kind of what I would say about that. So trying to pull this Varian back, trying to do what damage we can. Going for the Counter-Strike. Missed the Varian actually, but we do kill the other one. I make a mistake here as well. A couple of mistakes there actually. So the big mistake number one there was should have waited for that Varian protected to wear off, then gone in with my spells. I actually could have killed that Varian. So yeah, I mean, plenty of mistakes in this game. If you wanted to write a list, it'd be a long one. But I think that also makes it pretty enjoyable. Level 13 now, where we're gonna grab, I think these are all pretty decent options. I think Rite of Rakshir is what I go for in this particular game, and I think it's probably the best one overall. It's definitely a bit of a win more talent. And it's quite important on Alarak that you don't die in silly situations like that, because you lose your sadism bonus. So yeah, I think Rite of Rakshir can be quite good. It can definitely snowball the game very hard. So that's a good one to pick. Now, if you're definitely losing the game, Pure Malice can be very good, which gives you sadism whenever an allied hero dies. So that can be nice in terms of getting good value out of Alarak, even if you don't have that sort of map presence or the sort of the team fighting success at the current time to kind of get those stacks out of Rite of Rakshir. That's pretty nifty. Then in advance, level 16, we're going to take Lightning Barrage. In case you don't get to talk about it, we may be in a team fight at that time, I don't know. But Lightning Barrage will, when we hit an enemy hero with the center of our Lightning Surge, so when we proc it, which is exactly what we're trying to do, we can cast another one for free right afterwards, which is great. That will really enable us to do an awful lot more damage. And also gives us nice self-sustain as well. Don't forget that. That can be a pretty valuable thing. I'm trying to catch this Varian here, and he's proving a hard nugget to catch and hard nugget to crack. Fortunately, we don't get him with the silence there. I was looking to see if we could hit that keep, you know, get that center beam damage by hitting the keep. But again, although you can sort of target the keep, you're not actually in vision, so you can't actually fully target it, so I wasn't able to proc that off of him. So the way you want to use Rite of Rakshir, you get a big chunk of sadism bonus. and you basically reset the ability, 10-second cooldown, if you kill the target, and you get 3% every time you hit them with your Q. So it just depends. I mean, just hitting the target that you're comfortable with is probably a pretty good idea. We're in a little bit of trouble right here, but we're able to, as you can see, just keep poking away with our lightning surge, and we're able to kind of pressure these guys off and get some pretty decent damage down. That's actually Alex having used her heroic right there, and despite the enemy team killing off Uther and getting some good map presence, I mean, Zagara's off doing bruiser camp. I don't think we see Zagara this entire game, which is fairly appropriate for Zagara. We still get the Dragon Knight, so they don't have the map presence to do this properly. And just kind of poking away, looking for what we can here. It's really just looking for poke at that particular moment. Without Uther, without ETC, we're not looking for any actual particular kills. Yeah, that's kind of the core of Alarak. You know, it's this different. I think it's a very different playstyle from that solo lane Alarak that we're been used to in the recent while, and I think it's kind of nifty. So they're just being a bit of a jerk, you know, knocking that Fala, who is the one that she dropped the healing circle for, just knocking her out of the healing circle, being like, yeah, no, you can't have that. Yeah, sorry, Fala. Get a nice silence in on that guy, forgetting to use Rite of Rakshir. That's okay. You can see him hovering it over there, going, oh yes, I should use this thing. Whoops, silly me. Trying to get in range for that, and you can see it's proving awkward to say the least. Going a little bit aggressive here. Interestingly enough, the Shrink Ray actually still persists through your heroic, through Counter Strike. So the Counter Strike actually didn't do that much damage. That's why I was feeling fairly confident in that particular situation, though. I was kind of going, okay, he doesn't have actually anything that could kill me. Going up to try to pull the Kel'Thuzad into the mosh pit, but mosh pit actually gets cancelled. I think it was Vala. Wasn't looking there properly, but someone cancelled the mosh pit anyway, which totally ruined my plans. So when we were behind enemy lines, we just used our W really to push Kel'Thuzad into a bit of a kill position. Counter Strike goes off, we get 1E, we get a second E and actually get the kill there. Try and knock her away, but there's too many minions. In fact, Varian, as you see, who's just running back there as well. Zagara's doing a camp. Actually, funnily enough, what happened, because I was kind of curious about this when I was watching it back initially. Right, I was kind of going, wait, why is Zagara, is she just doing camps? Did we just do that without Zagara? What happened is she was trying to push in the top keep and got chased by Varian the entire way down her lane. Then Varian came to join our fight and she went to the Merc camp. But still, nonetheless, we just got pretty much wrecked there. Luckily, I was able to grab those couple of kills at the end, and it was definitely a very, very close thing. We've got 2 keeps down now, though, which gives us an immense amount of control here on Dragon Shire, so that's good. And plus, we got this Zagara, who's established a tremendous amount of creep around the place. She's farming up those Merc camps like a boss. So we got all those pressuring down the lanes quite often here as well. So, coming up here, we got Shrines activating again. Establishing a position in the bottom half of the map would definitely be ideal. Getting that bruiser camp pushing down bottom, it's going to have our catapults enhancing it, so that's going to draw an immense amount of pressure. They have to go deal with that, which will open us up to rotating towards the top. The enemy team looks like they're probably taking their bruiser camp. We can go up, we can clear that out, we can take that top shrine, and they're going to be in a pretty rough spot to try to contest us. Also, we're just sort of biding some time as well to get to that level 20. Zagara actually takes that. Cassia going in for the channel. Looks like there's a Varian in on top of her. She probably ought to be okay because she can blind him. Yeah, she's winning that fight. That's nice. So I'm a little bit slow, I'd say, coming up to this fight, but we're on the way now. Trying to do what we can. Blaze is in there causing some trouble. We're trying to push these guys away. Get a nice counter strike actually through them, which is fantastic. Kind of freaked out a little bit with my E. Would have got better damage there casting the E on the Kel'Thuzad, not on her. So I think a couple of situations in this particular last fight where I'm going for the click E, my old reflex from old Alarak, just clicking it on the hero instead of trying to get that perfect in-between lightning damage, which is really what you're looking for with this build especially. But still, you can see some of the potential right there. And with that, we got the DK. There's 4 enemy heroes dead. Vala was fighting Zagara up top, and it did not go well. But certainly Vala being out of that fight really helped us. We're trying to knock her back, just be a bit of a jerk. And we do get level 20 here at the end. Gonna grab Deadly Charge at level 20. And we're just gonna wait, see if we can catch this Vala out. Waiting for her to get in range. There we go, she vaults in. We're gonna dash in, and that actually lands the kill on her, which is kind of nice. And then we can't finish with the Deadly Charge on the core, so we're going to finish with the Counter Strike. So we're like flashing, kind of taunting, you know how it is. There you go. That was a look at Alarak. I think he's a really cool hero. He's, you know, not particularly for me. I don't know, like I like him, but I don't love him, if you get me. But I think he's a great hero if you do love him, because you do have all of that potential skill range that you can learn and implement in your games and really pull off some cool moves and have a really huge impact through your own skill. And I think that's really cool. There you go. That is the build once again. Thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time for more Heroes of the Storm. Bye bye.